Very good morning to everyone. In this lecture, EC8791 Embedded and Real-Time Systems. In last sessions, we have discussed so many topics for our embedded design technology. That is the syllabus of EC8791 Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, 7th semester. So the unit 1 is complex systems and the microprocessor. These are we are interface the processor or controller in our embedded system design, and also what are the design processing we are using the system models, and what are the performance technique and analysis techniques are followed, and also the what are the different type of processor, for example of ARM 7 and ARM 9 processors, and how to the applications in the environmental. It is an embedded system environmental. So now today we are going to discuss the topic unit 3, embedded programming. So actually the embedded programming is a C programming with a Kale language. So the embedded C is the most popular programming language in software field. So these are the syllabus of unit 3 is a components of embedded programming and a model of programs and assembly, how to the program are assembled and linked and loaded to the interfacing units, and the compilation techniques, and what are the performance levels analysis, and also the software levels, and the energy and power consumption levels, and also the program testing methodologies. Now today we are going to discuss the components of embedded programming. So the embedded components are given by the state machine, circular buffer, and also the QUIC. So already I have to say the embedded C is most popular programming language in software field for developing the electronic industries. Each processor used in electronic system, it associated with an embedded software. So the embedded C programming play a key role in performing the specific functions by the processor. In day by day, we are using the many electronic devices such as mobile phone and washing machine and digital cameras or etc. So these all devices working is based on the controller, that is a microcontroller, that are programmed by the embedded C. So we can using the state machine. It is a reaction of most system can be categorized in terms of input received and the current state of the system. The final state machine style of describing the reactive system's behavior, and also the finite state machine are usually first encountered in the content of hardware designs models. So these are the software state machine. It is a input and output models. There is a inversion or coefficient models. That is a three or four category branches. So there is ideal and buzzer and seated and built. So these are the major role of the application of the embedded programming. So the embedded system programming C code, it preferred over other languages due to the reasons. What are the reasons? Here the embedded system is program code is preferred for over other language because it is a high reliability. It is the first one is a high reliability and also easy to understand the languages. and the scalability, more scalability and portability languages. So the system, it is a function, is a collection of statement that is used for performing a specific task, and also a collection of one or more functions. It is called a programming language. In every language is consisting of basic elements and a set of protocols, that is a rules. So the C language programming is designed for functions with variables, characters and data type and different keywords and also the expression. So we are used in writing a C language or C programming. Now the extension in C language is known as the embedded C programming language. It is compared to above the embedded programming in C, and also have some additional features like data type and keyword and header files, so etc. So here the state machine, so the ideal conditions, that is a no seat, it can be the programming the instruction to enable the same module. It is a buffer of functions. It can be interface to the other port, that is the other modules, that is a processor to co-processor units. It can be collect the data through the address and the data buses. So we can acknowledgement through the interrupt acknowledgement signal through the peripherals. So the basic embedded C programming, the microcontroller programming is different for each type of operating system. Even though there are many operating system are existing such as the Windows, like a Linux and a real-time operating system, etc. So, but the real-time operating system has a several advantages for our embedded system development. What are the advantages? So already say it is a very reliability, high reliability, and also easily to understand the programs and easily find out the problems and diagnose the problem and troubleshoot the problems. So, so the processor would like to install the KLC programming. It is a small example program for a seat built in your vehicle. So here the definition, define ideal 0 and defined seated 1, defined belted 2, defined buzzer 3. It is a switch state functions to check the current status of the value. If the condition of in case, the ideal, if the seat of state is equal to seated and the timer on is equal to true conditions. In such cases, it default case if self loop functions, that is a break. The case of stated, if built state is a belted, it is a will not hear the buzzer. So help this timing functions. We assigned the time function of t state. So the buzzer did not put on the built-in time. The default is self loop is a break conditions. So here the small level understandable C language programs. Now we can move to the stream oriented programming and also circular buffer. The circular buffer is a data structure that handles the streaming data in an efficient way. So the size of the window, we can see this window. So the size of the window does not change because it is a fixed size of buffer to hold the current data, and we can analyze the previous outputted data. So we can avoid constantly copying the data within the buffer to move the header of the buffer in time to time. The buffer point to the location at which the next sample will be placed. Okay, we can understand. So the every time we can added a sample of data, it automatically override the oldest samples, which is the one of the need to thrown out. When the pointer get to the ender of the buffer, it warp around the top. And also the queue functions. What are the queue functions? It is a queue are used to you are used in the single signal processing and event processing. That is, it used whenever the data may arrive and departure at the somewhat unpredictable times. That is unavailable interval of times, or when variable amount of time data may arrive. A queue is often referred to an elastic buffer. It is made up of the programming. So in this lecture, we have to discuss the components of embedded programming in our embedded system design. Thank you for watching this video.